Peter Obi, congratulations. Tribunal to invalidate election after Inec and Tinubu accepted this particular fact. Breaking news. Hello, people. Welcome back once again to my YouTube channel. The victory of Mr. P2B in the election petition tribunal is 99.9% sure. In fact, there is absolutely nothing that will actually deny P2B from being declared as the winner of that particular election petition tribunal. And there is no way, and there is no single way that INEC, as a matter of fact, will not disqualify Bola Tinubu from the evidence and from the facts that have been presented to the election petition tribunal. Even as I'm talking to you now, INEC and Bola Tinubu, had to, accept to this particular basic fact. It's very difficult to defend the rascality that INEC committed during the 2023 presidential election. It is very, very difficult to justify or defend it. In fact, two of the most difficult things to do now is to defend Tinubu and to defend the rascality that INEC did during the presidential election. That is why Wole Olanipeku, who is Tinubu's lead lawyer, sometimes he will counter the thing he said. He will come out to admit that he made a mistake. He will come out to even agree to what P2B's lawyers are saying, because he doesn't even know the kind of person he's defending. Tinubu has a whole lot of uncertainties surrounding him. His academic records are forged, the drug-related case and all that. Now, as I'm talking to you now, they had to even accept this particular fact, and this is definitely going to give P2B victory at the election petition tribunal. Well, before we dive into this particular issue, if this is your first time of visiting this particular channel, as a matter of fact, don't hesitate to click on the notification button so I get notified whenever I drop a new and important video here. Now, let's head straight to the point. As we all know, INEC has been arguing, in their final written addresses and in the response to P2B's case and all that, they've been saying that the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria gave them the sole and independent right to decide the manner through which they will transmit or conduct their elections. And this is what the Constitution says. This is basically the truth. This is basically the truth. The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria gave INEC the sole right to decide, number one, how to conduct the election, whether they are going to transmit the election electronically, or whether they are going to do this, or whether they are going to do it manually and all that. The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria gave them that particular right and everything. Now, this is what they are trying to defend in court. Because P2B and Atiku Abubakar, if you all remember, have been arguing in the election petition tribunal that INEC did not follow the stipulated guidelines, that INEC did fail to transmit the election results electronically, which is provided in the Electoral Act and all that. But INEC is saying that is none of their business, that since the Constitution of Nigeria has given them the sole right to transmit the election results or to decide the manner through which they would carry out the election, that Tinubu and that Atiku Abubakar and P2B has no right to question the mode or the manner through which they transmitted the results and all that. Now, they didn't even know the angle P2B's lawyers were coming from. And that is one thing I love about P2B's lawyers. They will deceive you and deceive you till you agree to what they are saying. At the end of the day, you will now understand and realize that you are even agreeing to what they are saying. And this is one smart move that P2B's lawyers, being legal people, have been making. Now, let me show you something. P2B's lawyers have been arguing, like I've told you guys, that they did not transmit the election results. Now, INEC is saying that the Constitution of Nigeria gave them the sole right to do anything they want to do. Now, look at what the Constitution of Nigeria said. Now, people should know that the truth of the matter is that according to various provisions of the Electoral Act, INEC has the liberty, people should know that INEC has the liberty to publish, amend, and vary the mode of transmission of results after the voting in an election. Please follow up to this particular explanation I'm trying to give now. The Federal High Court, as we all know, within this year, allowed INEC to use any means it chooses to transmit the election result. There was a judgment that the Federal High Court gave. Now, that is the judgment that INEC has been, holding strong onto. Whenever the issue of non-compliance and non-transmitting of election results came up, they will tell this court, the Election Petition Tribunal, that the Federal High Court has given them the right and everything that they can use any means to conduct the election. But that is not the point we are trying to make here. Now, secondly, this liberty by INEC has been affirmed by Superior Court, which is the truth. Now, thirdly, INEC, in compliance with the law, prior to 2023 election, published and gazetted regulations and guidelines for the conduct of election. INEC also published manual for the conduct of 2023 election. Note that till date, INEC have not updated or amended or varied the published regulations and guidelines or manuals for the 2023 election. Now, let me tell you something that happened. Now, the Federal High Court and the Constitution of Nigeria has given INEC the sole right to do whatever they want to do, or to decide the manner through which they want to collate or transmit the election results. Now, when INEC was asked When the constitution has given them the right, INEC, it is not left for INEC to decide whether they want to conduct the election manually or electronically, which is what the constitution gave them to do. INEC said that they are not going to conduct the election manually, that they are going to conduct the election electronically, meaning that they are going to use the beavers and transmit the election results to the election to the IRF, that is INEC result viewing portal at real time. Now, none of these political parties, Labour Party or P2B or Atiku Abubakar or PDP, did not force INEC to choose to transmit the election results electronically or to transmit it manually. No. All the political parties allowed the INEC to decide at their own discretion how they want to transmit or conduct the election. INEC decided to follow up the constitution by saying that they would transmit the election results electronically, and they kept on promising and publishing articles promising Nigerians that they must follow, that they are going to publish the election, they're going to carry out the election results or the election process electronically. They even published their manual, the INEC Electoral Act and manual and guidelines, stating categorically that they must, as a matter of fact, carry out the election electronically. Nobody forced them. Nobody asked them to do it. They decided. Now, this is where their limit ends. And the Constitution of Nigeria and even the Federal High Court told them that they can update, change, or even twist their own rules and regulations after the election, not during the election. After the election, this is what the Constitution of Nigeria told them to do. That they can upgrade, amend, or change the Constitution after the election. Before or after the election, the Constitution did not tell them that they can amend and change the Constitution during the election day, which is what INEC did. INEC promised Nigerians and published and did everything in their Electoral Act and everything, said they are going to transmit the results electronically. Then on 25th February that the election was conducted, INEC decided to destroy and go against what they have actually promised Nigerians. And the constitution and the law did not give them the right that are doing the election, that they should, as a matter of fact, not change from all the promises and everything that they've made, that they are going to transmit the election electronically. Now they changed during and within the election process and started using manual means to process the election results and all that. And this is where they got it all wrong. And this is where P2B is actually arguing. And there's no way the tribunal is not going to disqualify and invalidate this particular election, because INEC, as a matter of fact, is being deceitful. And this is what the Supreme Court, even in P2B's final written address, they said it, that INEC is being deceitful, that it cannot promise Nigerians from the first day, and even made a lot of publications, and even in your Electoral Act and guidelines and all that, you promise that you are going to transmit the election results electronically. Then during the election process, you have to change your position. It doesn't work like that, and the law does not encapsulate that during the election process that you can decide to change. The law only told you that before the election, that you can change your guidelines and amend it. Then after the election, you can still amend it and do that, not during and within the election processes. And this is what INEC has failed to understand. And there is no two ways that the Election Petition Tribunal is not going to invalidate this particular election, because the evidences and the proofs that INEC did not follow their guidelines is everywhere on the internet space and everywhere in Nigeria. Well, I must say that a very big congrats to Peter, because his victory is rest assured. I must tell you for the fact. Well, I would like guys to drop a comment section and please subscribe to my YouTube channel.